Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel where we tell stories about everything that has a beginning. This is the first episode of our new series called Timeline Begins, in which we are going to take a look at the dinosaurs. We'll be talking about their life, evolution, and extinction. But before we start, remember to subscribe so you won't miss any of our videos. Also, remember to like this video if you enjoyed it and leave us a comment telling us what you would like to see in the future. So let's start with a little introduction to these fascinating animals. Dinosaur means terrible lizard in Greek. Despite their immense size and strength, dinosaurs were just reptiles adapted for a life on land. Like other reptiles, they were cold-blooded, meaning they cannot regulate their own body temperature. Because of this, they had to rely on external sources of heat, such as the sun, to warm up. The most famous dinosaurs were the ones who lived during the late Jurassic and Cretaceous period. These dinosaurs are known as the Big Five dinosaurs. They are Tyrannosaurus rex, Triceratops, Brachiosaurus, Stegosaurus, but there were thousands of different species of dinosaurs across the globe for over 165 million years. They came in all shapes and sizes, from the massive Argent, one of the largest animals that ever existed, to the tiny Compsognathus, which was about the size of a chicken. The first fossils of dinosaurs were found in 1824 by English geologist William Buckland, who named them. However, it was until 1978, when the gap between the first and the last dinosaur discoveries was reduced to only 30 million years. By the 1980s, paleontologists could even reconstruct the evolutionary tree of dinosaurs. It is estimated that more than 10 billion tons of dinosaur bones are buried in rocks around the world. This includes the fossilized feces, or coprolites, as they are called, which can tell us about their diet. In 1997, paleontologists discovered a fossil of a theropod dinosaur with feathers preserved in northeastern China. The discovery provided evidence that some dinosaurs had feathers and were warm-blooded, but not all scientists agree with this theory. For example, John Ostrom, an American paleontologist, believed that birds evolved from theropods, but were not descended from dinosaurs. He believed that dinosaurs were just lizards. However, since the early 2000s, scientists have used genetic studies to show that birds are indeed the direct descendants of dinosaurs. But how did dinosaurs actually die? It's no secret that the asteroids played a major role in their extinction. But it wasn't the only cause. Hello! Welcome to my channel where we tell stories about everything that has a beginning. Today, we will talk about the asteroid impact and its consequences. But before we start, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. And if you want to support our work, become a patron through the link in the description below. The idea that an asteroid impact triggered the mass extinction event at the end of the Cretaceous period emerged in the 1980s. In 1980, physicist Luis Alvarez and his son, geologist Walter Alvarez, examined a layer of clay in Italy which marked the end of the Cretaceous period. The layer contained an unusually high concentration of iridium, an element that is rare on Earth but common in asteroids. They suggested that an asteroid impact caused the extinction of dinosaurs. Initially, the idea was met with skepticism by the scientific community. Most scientists agreed that asteroids had something to do with the mass extinction, but they didn't believe that it was the main cause. However, the discovery of the Chicxulub crater off the coast of Mexico proved the Alvarez is right. It is now widely accepted that an asteroid impact was the immediate cause of the Cretaceous mass extinction. But when did the impact happen exactly? According to geological evidence, the asteroid hit Earth around 66 million years ago, but according to a new study published in the journal PNAS in 2020, the impact may have happened much earlier than previously thought. Researchers from the University of Texas at Austin used uranium lead dating to date the age of the rock. The results showed that the asteroid struck 66.1 million years ago, which is around 300,000 years earlier than previously thought. Previously, scientists assumed that the impact occurred during the spring or summer, but according to researchers from the University of Michigan, it must have happened in the winter. Their reasoning was that the asteroid impact winter killed off many large animals because they couldn't survive without vegetation. However, there were exceptions, including turtles and crocodiles. But why do we know so much about the asteroid impact? The reason is that there are so many publications on the topic. There are currently more than 1,200 research articles related to the asteroid impact, so I will not bore you with too many details. Instead, I will focus on some interesting facts that I found. The first observation that something unusual had happened at the end of the Cretaceous period came from a botanist in Argentina in 1877. He found a boulder containing a fossil of a marine animal in the middle of the mountains. Later, it became clear that the fossil was from a kind of plankton called A few decades later, scientists started finding similar fossils in other parts of the world. They realized that the fossils were older than the rocks they were found in. Something extraordinary must have happened for the fossils to be pushed into the layers of rock. The missing piece of the puzzle was found in 1908 when a meteorite landed in Russia. The event was well documented, and the rocks and dust thrown into the atmosphere caused darkness to fall over the area for several days. Scientists immediately realized that an asteroid impact could explain the fossil record of the Cretaceous period. Asteroids are rocky bodies revolving around the sun, most of which are located between Mars and Jupiter. They range in size from Vesta, which is 329 miles or 530 kilometers in diameter, to bodies less than 33 feet or 10 meters across. Asteroids are made up of rock and dust, and they can be hundreds of millions or even billions of years old. Scientists believe that asteroids are the building blocks of the solar system left over from the formation of planets. Our solar system formed about 4.6 billion years ago. At that time, the protoplanetary disk was filled with asteroids. But over billions of years, most of them have been destroyed. Some were destroyed by impacts with comets, and others were captured by planets. Currently, there are millions of asteroids in the solar system, most of them located between Mars and Jupiter. The asteroid that killed the dinosaurs was about 6 miles or 10 kilometers in diameter and was traveling at a speed of 43,000 miles per hour or 69,000 kilometers per hour. When it hit the Earth, it released an amount of energy equivalent to 100 trillion tons of For comparison, the bomb dropped on Hiroshima during World War II had a force of 6.2 kilograms of plutonium, 239. The impact of the asteroid caused a huge tsunami, triggered earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, and threw huge amounts of dust into the atmosphere. The dust blocked sunlight, and within weeks, the entire planet was plunged into darkness. Plants died, and the global food chain collapsed. The asteroid's impact also caused drastic climate change. The surface of the Earth around the impact crater became hellishly hot, and wildfires broke out. Hot rocks were ejected high into the atmosphere and reached areas far from the impact zone. Then it rained, and the ash fell over the entire planet. Temperatures dropped dramatically, and it started raining, acidic rain. The climate change caused by the asteroid impact wiped out most of the existing species. The surviving species had to adapt to the new conditions. Mammals, birds, and reptiles had to wait another 65 million years for the suitable conditions to appear again. Hibernation helped some species survive the asteroid impact. Hibernation is a state of inactivity that some animals enter in order to survive harsh environmental conditions, such as extremely low temperatures. The ability to hibernate helped some species of small mammals and birds survive the asteroid impact. For example, small proto-wombats weighing about 2 pounds or 0.9 kilograms survived by slowing their metabolism and lowering their body temperature. Some insects and arachnids can also hibernate. For example, the tarsier can spend several years in hibernation. Hibernation helps animals to survive harsh environmental conditions by reducing their need for food and water. Hibernating animals can also slow down their breathing and heart rate in order to conserve energy. It is unknown whether the dinosaurs hibernated, because there are no records of it. However, it is possible that some species may have done so. In conclusion, the asteroid impact had a devastating effect on the planet, and the impact caused climate change, habitat destruction, and food shortages, leading to the extinction of most living things. However, some species such as turtles and crocodiles survived the impact and were able to reproduce. Although the asteroid impact was the main cause of the mass extinction, there were already signs of environmental problems before the impact. The latest research suggests that the asteroid impact merely accelerated the process that had already been set in motion. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like it and share it with your friends. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell. And finally, if you would like to support our work, become a patron through the link in the description below. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Storyline Begins YouTube channel.